There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world.
Kita guys.
Even the wind cannot blow on
Oh my
forever.
god. It's a sure now guys. Oke. Jadi asal aku main Genshin Ramadhan ini karena udah lama gak main Genshin teman-teman. Sini ada teman saya Elgato ini, kita harus berterima kasih kepada ini guys. Aku akan mengasih dia sangat amat banyak bunga teman-teman. Oh ya, aku harus live stream pakai bahasa Inggris. Kasih.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
Kita spam aja stiker-stiker. Okay. So all of these levels in my Scarara and also the other characters is built well because of my friend here, Elgato. Because honestly, I haven't touched Genshin in for 1 month. Really, I haven't touched Genshin. Really, I even deleted Genshin like in my phone because I was like going somewhere, going to other countries, and then my memory got full, and then I downloaded Genshin, and here it is, me and my Genshin account has been played. My Genshin account has been played with Elgato.
Behold!
So after one month, my bestie friend Elgato is always looking in my account, and he built my Scarara, dude. Look at him. I honestly, I really cannot
Relax.
build characters, but in this Scarara build, I literally got 2 of my friends building him. Really, like my friend from okay, my close friend is building him since from level 50 to 80, I guess. 70, yeah, from 50 to 70, and then my bestest friend building my Scarara from level 80 to 90. And look at the crit rate. At first, I just only have like 24 crit rate.
Relax.
Now it's 72. It's from the artifacts here, and oh my gosh, look at that! Oh my god, that's so lovely. And I didn't know how he got so many mushrooms in here for this Carrara. He said that he even got to the other world to take the mushroom. Oh my god, I love him. Oh my gosh. And this, my Farzan is also level 70. My burn is still Bennett. My Farzan is being Farzan and Bennett is being Bennett.
Oh, ow!
And my Xianling, just being Xianling. And this Ayaka. My friends also helping me with
A
building
blade
Ayaka.
embraces its
I
duty.
think
As
to
it
fix this, the artifacts. Okay, so the crit rate's still low, but it's big for me. 3-3. And and the traveler. I don't wanna see that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do today is to do this daily mission. Oh, it's in Zuma. Sorry guys, if you're Indonesian, I am Mokel now. Why big sign? I'm on my period. Cold drink is always good. Oh yeah, by the way, the banner for today, for this month is Theory guys, and Ito, and Araki Ito. Oh, both of them is Jo guys. Oh, sorry. Theory, yeah, indeed. Forest Cafe. I can get Sinju. I really need Sinju really for my Ayaka. Oh, what's this? Balada Angin Fajar. What's this? What's this for? Oh, dapat menentukan pilihan untuk karakter atau senjata berikut. Aku pengen kuliah deh. Sebenarnya kalau ada pikir-pikir aku nggak punya apa namanya DPS Pyro. Or do I just need this? So waktu 3 hari lagi guys. Klee.
Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you?
Should I get her? Catalyst? Hold up. Let me just Google for a sec. Oh, she's like, oh, okay. It's just like Skara. Oh my god, sorry. Oh my god, did I just fart? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. Or Albedo. Oh, my sword. Should I get him? Nah, I think I should get this. Just the senjata. What is senjata in English, guys? The weapon. Okay, let me do the daily first. Oh my god, I know this is boring. Okay. What's that do? What? How can I get through that? Okay, we can get through that. We're flying. Okay, look at that. The wings and the outfit is matching.
Too late for regrets.
Squall and Fury.
Oh! Oh my, look at the damage. 7,000. Is it done? Okay. 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 Oh man, I need Ayaka in here. Where need water, guys? Friendship. Pengen. Hah? Buffer ayah. Okay, let's try this, guys. All the party has been set by my bestest friend.
Let me amuse myself a little.
Diana Special! Shake hands! Animal hypostasis emulation! Kamisato art! Suretsu! My apologies!
Oh, nice. That was nice. But I still couldn't get how to play Ayaka. And guys, I see Tinary DPS here. Or is it here? Aggravate? What does that mean? My Tina is still 20. Official is up again. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna change the party again.
Dare to mess with me? Let's light it up! Nice and spicy!
Kebal shot dia.
Yeah! Everybody stand back! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
Behold.
I didn't think there will be this kind of thing. Oh, I got so annoying.
Wind rises.
What did I do? Dude, I'm so suck at this game. I am truly sorry. Because this is who I really were. So bad at this game. It's laggy. Why it's
Far
laggy?
enough. The wind rises.
I'm going in! You're toast!
Behold.
Done. Okay. Oh, it's a tough one. Did you guys watch Spider-Man came? I forgot the music of it. Masih cuts lagi ya?
following me.
Oh, Nazuma is so pretty. How do I get through that? Carrots! Apple and carrots.
Squall and Fury.
Oh, I heard that Arkelio, that the thing with the father one, the mommy but looks like father. I heard that she can fly too. I don't. I hate this.
Let's light it up!
Come on, down here, you stupid video.
You're dead.
You're dead.
The wind rises. Bow your head.
Oh, I'm bowing. This is some fire, guys. Where's the other?
Gears of the storm!
Down.
Nice and spicy!
Behold. How amusing.
Okay then. Okay, I am done now. Going back. Ah, why is it so? Okay. Okay, I'm then gonna go. Do you guys want to see me showcasing my Scarara? Because
Too slow.
my friends already built it for me.
Add Astro.
Hey? It's like... Okay.
Add Astro.
Add as.
Thank you for complete.
Thank you for completing. Okay. Okay, so gonna go to Liu and this one. Oh, it's Pyro, not the Pyro one. I want to do it with the ice one. Where's the ice one? Yeah. Ice Request Win. Wait, let me
There's no such thing.
search for it. Here. Ani. Aiko. Okay. You can see that? Okay. We're gonna showcase Kara Chikum. No. Okay. It's gonna drop with Farzan and then Manet and then Shanling. Okay. Go. Dua, E, 3E, 4E.
Get them!
That's far enough.
15. Okay. 15, guys. So how is it, guys? I think I need to I needed to defeat another boss, but I'm too lazy for that. And so now I'm gonna quest story, I guess. Quest Archon, let's go. Let's do the quest Archon, guys. I really miss Fontaine, guys. Oh yeah, I'm still at that Liney and Lynette's magic show thingy. I'm gonna finish that Archon. So
The wind rises.
Archon story. Oh my god, I love Fontaine so much. Fontaine is like my favorite region besides Mondstadt and in Nazuma.
Too slow. Quit following me.
Ikut sidang, oh my god, sidang. Bahkan rapat timer aja aku nggak ikut guys karena malas. Karena aku juga masih high school lah, I'm still in high school. So I think like rapat is not that important. Karena waktu cuma ngobrol-ngobrol gosip-gosip doang.
The whole situation is so
Aku nggak
confusing.
suka.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Class is without class.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be. Besides,
Hold
I
up.
doubt Farina
I'm gonna
understands any more
turn up
about what
the
happens than we
volume.
do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Oh my god, I want to eat something. You know what? I already ate one Indomie, but I still feel hungry.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that. Well, now, don't you all look
Farina.
disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. But don't let that stop
Wait,
you.
I'm gonna
I
turn
shall
up
be terribly
the volume again.
disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so
Okay,
easily.
I think this is alright. It sounds.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
In that case,
Correct,
I
Your
call
Honor.
upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way. You could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
Okay.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Oh.
Look at those scales. Could those mean
ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny! Why didn't you tell us this before?
Hi, Red Sea.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
I really can't talk. The story's making me focus. It's really interesting. Oh,
Please
from here.
answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Oh my gosh.
I knew it!
It goes lower.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as
Ako,
guilty.
orang planet Bekasi.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is the...
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep...
So, what are we gonna do now? Aku kalau jadi penontonnya kayaknya langsung kabur aja deh. Lama banget ditahannya.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption not to set the wrong tone or anything. But Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're
Quest
angry,
Archon ini.
and reasonably so, but
Quest Archon yang
please,
kata
let me explain. I
orang
know
di
you've
box
clashed with the
jatuhan
Fatui several times before.
air itu.
I wouldn't be surprised if just... But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have...
Right now, we want to save people.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, but still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no...
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Oh my god, suaranya soft
Well,
banget.
you both say that, but... Right, let's hear...
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the
aku udah
Opera House
main
basement
Genshin
via the vent,
dari
and went to investigate the room in which the core is
2022.
stored.
2022 akhir
was
sih.
created during the construction of the tunnel
Cuman
specifically to
jarang
execute
online.
this step.
Jadi ya, quest Archonnya masih di sini-sini aja.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached
Soalnya
that
aku
room and
gak
was
bisa
about to
nge-build
investigate, I
karakter.
heard someone's voice.
Dan aku main Genshin juga buat seru-seruan aja sih.
Which should have been
Karena suka
impossible,
story-nya
of
juga.
course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
Sebenarnya
It
bukan
was never
sepuh-sepuh
my
banget
wish to
loh.
proceed under this cloud of mistrust, but like I
Lebih
said
banyak
earlier,
sepuh
you can
di
be the
sekitarku.
judge. If you want to...
Well, Traveler, you decide.
Aku
will follow your
aku
lead
bahkan
however you
dijoki
choose.
oleh sepuh-sepuh itu untuk nge-build karakterku. Kamu main Genshin juga kan? Emang kamu main Genshin dari kapan?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh?
Soalnya ini langsung macam melalui penjelasan. Jadi dia kan kejadian yang terjadi di dalam terowongan dan karenanya juga dia tidak mendapat adanya suara terendah. Ini mengatakan kalau dia mendengar sesuatu yang misterius dari dalam ruangan yang berisi inti Oratrice dalam struktur bawah tanah gedung opera. Oke. Nih, sekarang aku ini dibuild-in sama temen aku yang sepuh. Oh. Asik kan Genshin? Kamu betah-betah ya main Genshin? Karena kebanyakan kayaknya orang-orang pada pindah ke Honkai Star Rail.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Terus bagian yang tidak valid berdasarkan kejadian yang diutarakan oleh pihak lain. Memanfaatkan bukti dan petunjuk yang diperoleh dari kejadian untuk membantah pernyataan yang tidak valid dan menggantinya dengan dugaan yang baru. Bahkan pernyataan pun tidak akan hadir. Kalau kan nggak bisa meninggalkan. Oke.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Iya.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud
Aku juga
thud.
pernah main HSR sih. Cuman aku bosan. Tapi kalau jujur, karakternya menurut aku sih bagusan karakter HSR gak sih, kayak lebih atraktif. Kalau Genshin tuh karakternya kayak lebih lucu. Kalau HSR tuh kayak realistis gitu gak sih? Plus di HSR kayaknya lebih hot gitu karakternya.
He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound.
Terus temen aku juga sempet itu, apa namanya, ngeracunin aku HSR.
Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
Aku ngelihat apa trailernya Black Swan ya, yang sama itu keren sih, kayak ngelihat movie gitu. Aku nggak ngerti sih alur ceritanya kenapa Black Swan itu ngajak apa cewek itu satu lagi buat dansa. Cuman aku suka banget itu trailernya. Terakhir dia menggunakan vas untuk melakukan hasil melepas pakaian agar tidak dikenali orang lain.
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
Sebelum memasukkannya ke dalam kotak.
Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
Kecelakaan.
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Oke. Tapi dalam 30 detik.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced and what he saw.
Gak tau, suka banget suara Ether. Lenny memasuki terowongan setelah hitungan mundur dimulai. Aku nggak tahu ngapain ya. Nggak dengerin. Cepet-cepet sih aku bacanya.
Seems this won't produce a part.
Okay. What should I pick? Apa sih tadi? Setelah hitungan mundur diulang. Oke, enggak. Semuanya aja dah, coba. Oke, yang ini berarti. Hah, kok nggak ada? Jadi di sini. Jadi kota Rizky. Disuruh cari itunya, apa namanya, bantahan buat ini, apa namanya, perkataannya Farina, Lady Farina. Oke.
according to Lin.
Kalau ini Lini menculik Hasley. Lini memukul Hasley hingga bisa bernafas bunga dan mencopot pakaian perempuan itu supaya tidak teridentifikasi. Bukan. Panjang ini. Bentar, tapi aku bingung ada yang sama deh. Apa sebenarnya memang ada dalam terowongan? Terowongan. Suara di ruang wisata. Aku AR 50.
Contains the aura trees.
Aku AR 50. Aku dulunya aku males males naikin AR, cuman karena udah dimudahkan sama Hoyopers, jadi aku naikin ke 50. Sekarang stuck di 50. Kalau kamu udah AR berapa, Ratsi? Lainnya memukul Kowel hingga pingsan. Seperti yang ada saat Lini kembali ke terowongan, insiden tersebut sudah terjadi, sementara yang dia lihat hanyalah apa ini maksudnya? Nggak tahu dah. Oke, ini.
Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Itu kamu cepet lah AR 42 kalau di awal 2024. Cepet kamu mainnya. Pasti setiap hari kamu login.
When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
Oh, nice. Sudah membantah pernyataan Lady Verina.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to save.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
Quest yang ada.
That's
Ya,
right!
betul teman kamu.
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Favorit karakter aku Wanderer. Awalnya Scaramouche, cuman ternyata dia playable jadi Wanderer. Aku suka dia karena lucu, mukanya bulat tapi dia jahat. Tapi sekarang udah baik. Aku suka siapa lagi ya? itu karena Paimonnya di sini dia tuh jadi detektif gitu. Dia tuh kan ngebantu Lady sama Lynette, makanya dia pakai kacamata sama jenggot-jenggot itu. Itu pura-pura jadi detektif. Tapi lucu tahu Paimon sini. Ayo kamu cepat ke quest Fontaine karena seseru itu.
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't.
Tapi aku juga suka Kazuha sih. Karena Kazuha tuh kayak soft boy gitu. Cuman kalau di awal-awal favorit aku Venti. Cuman makin kesini ke Scaramouche, Wanderer. Ke kamu apa favoritnya? Kayaknya Kazuha favorit kamu ya. Tapi Paimon cewek gak sih? Masa berjenggot? Nih, dan sekarang kita yang Anda cewek.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Yang mana? Cari yang relevan. Dan eksekusikan sulap.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Salah lagi.
That's right!
Kepencet.
Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. This
Kepencet.
means that when the crime happened, the same clue you...
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
Xiao. Xiao juga. Aku nggak tahu sih cara
Well
ngomong
then,
Xiao.
If it wasn't Lenny who
Xiao.
committed the
Aku
crime,
juga suka sih Xiao tuh.
then who
Oh my
was
god.
it?
Aku suka Anemo Boys karena emang cakep sih mereka. Aku juga suka Xiao juga. Xiao tuh tipe-tipe apa ya? Cewek cool, cowok cool banget. Cewek hijau. Hah? Cewek hijau. Cewek hijau punya kuping. Lynette. Ya padahal mereka cakep-cakep tapi minusnya di pendek dan di tingginya kurang tinggi. Lalu dari guard menunjukkan bahwa kembang api yang diucurkan di akhir pertunjukan menyebabkan tali penahan tangki air. Jika Lenny bukan lagi tersangka, maka anggota rombongan sulap lain sajalah yang bisa mengotak-atik peralatan sulapnya. Lenny menjelaskan secara detail tentang trik sulap tersebut. Dengan menggunakan kotak di dalam kotak bersih penonton dipindahkan ke sisi seberang melalui terowongan, sementara terowongan yang sama Lenny pun mengarah ke sisi satunya. Setelah ganti baju, Lynette dan asistennya akan ambil alih interaksi di atas panggung. Pakaiannya milik hasil wanita yang hilang di lubang terowongan tidak diketahui.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
Oh my god. Okay.
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility?
Tapi masuk akal sih misalnya kalau Hasley ternyata punya dendam sama Cowell.
The
sebentar.
deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Dia bebas ngotak-ngatik
He would have been
peralatan.
able to tamper with the equipment.
Tapi kok bisa bebas ngotak-ngatik peralatan?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member.
Aku main di PC. Aku main di PC.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Aku aja. Hipotesnya benar.
That can't be right. Are you, the killer was, in fact, Cowell,
Oh, is that so? How interesting!
Coba pasti iya.
What I must do
Mukanya
next is recreate the
sangat-sangat
truth.
sus.
What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Bagaimana cara menganalisa bahwa Lenny tidak berhubungan dengan rencana kejahatan?
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention.
Huh?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Aku ini aja deh.
The sound we heard may have come from...
Salah po. Oh, Big 4.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Masuk atau keluar dari gedung opera maybe. Oh, ini apa?
It would have been tough for both people to...
Ini juga aku pilih.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Ini juga aku pilih.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Tapi ini termasuk gelut juga gak sih? Gelut. Gelut omongan.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Oh, nggak tahu ini aja. Kepencet.
No one entered or left the opera house through...
Ya, ini, klik ini.
Linny was not in the tunnel.
Ini,
The sound we heard may have come from a...
ini.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So there...
Salah juga, oke.
The deceased's name is Cow. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Ini.
It would have been tough for both... Linny was not in the tunnel at that...
Keliru, yay. Aku main-main biasa aja dah.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell.
Ini.
No one
Terus.
entered or left the opera house through its entrance.
Ini.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the...
Nih, dah bener nih. Lah salah.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which it would have been tough for both people to... Linny was not in the tunnel at that...
Aku bakal klik-klik aja.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Ada questionnya dong. Ada pertanyaan di sini.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Kemana hilangnya
It would
Hasley?
have been tough for both people to. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrance.
Ini
It
kali.
would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. No one entered or left. It would have been tough for both people.
Salah. Ulang deh. Yang terakhir salah.
No one entered or.
Oke. Salah yang mana sih? Aku nggak tahu ah. I'm not that smart. Genshin Bakun udah capek aku klik. Yang ini udah pintar aku. Terus yang mana dua-duanya salah?
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having...
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still...
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3... It's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin.
Oke. Ya, turun lagi. Firina, oh my.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Sabar, Neuville. Tunggu dulu. Coba mati.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the
Yeah.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Ya. Ini ada
The
di air,
vase was
guys.
not broken by chance. It was.
Dah. Benar. Ternyata benar, gak ada yang benar tadi. Maksudnya ternyata benar. Kalau yang tadi itu salah.
Paimon gets it!
Jadi itu bukan karena I'm not that smart.
Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Gak masuk akal, coy.
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
Preposterous.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely...
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
Yep.
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the
Okay. Laporan.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are...
the primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs
Oh
and that
my
he had
God.
an accomplice.
Ya kalah kamu
The
Furina.
notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine.
Arkonnya
As
tuh
such,
ini
we
loh.
believe
Furina, Lady Furina.
People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a
Bukan,
moment.
bukan.
This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but
Arkonnya Furina yang
Can
Furina.
become water. Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was targeting that girl, wait just a minute. Could that mean you two with me, quick?
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal
Loh,
effects. Still,
kaget kan kamu?
let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic. Albeit guards, please Mr. Linney. It appears your
Banyak sih yang
hypothesis
bilang
is
kalau
supported
Furina
by the
ini
evidence.
Arkon
So please
tertengil.
continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water.
Oke, siapa tersangka utama ini?
The deceased's name is Cow.
Barang apa yang digunakan pelakunya untuk mengontrol waktu pelarutan? Hah?
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank.
Kalau ini apa?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was something. The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such,
Barang apa yang digunakan pelakunya untuk mengarukan Hasley ini?
the water from the primordial sea.
The water from primordial sea. Ini bukan mekanisme.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Salah.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage.
Ini. Udah ini.
Now it seems like the hook.
Gak benar.
Ahem! It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was
kepencet.
lowered,
Oke,
the metal
ready.
hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box.
Hah?
When the balloon attached
I
to the
don't get
box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel.
Bentar.
With the remaining
Setelah itu
evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage.
Tangki di panggung.
But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Oh. Oke.
huh, that does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces.
Alright.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
What a humiliation. Kamu yang salah,
Now,
Furina.
it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to this.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other, and we found an identical sample of the water from the.
Lain nih. Lah, kenapa jadi lain nih?
Can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic.
Bang, udah
How
bang.
does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Aduh, batal lagi.
He did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the
Fiorina.
props beforehand,
Udah, please.
his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using that upon his return in cruel avarice. Lenny ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool now, as much as I... Am I right, Mr. Lenny?
No,
We've
you're
used
wrong.
up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for. Is this the end of the?
Ya udah selesai guys. Udah kalah kita guys.
I can't think of anything either.
Alhamdulillah
Doesn't
udah
look
guys.
like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
What is the maneuver guys?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale.
Oh my god. That line I really want to
Now
hear.
then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now,
Our
would
savior,
anyone here like to
Navia.
take a little break from all this debate? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linney, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often can, but once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
Okay.
I understand.
And voila!
Terka ulang kah?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true
What?
after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
What the heck?
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
What the heck?
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly,
Kok gini sih?
my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede, That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Speechless of
Can a person
speechless.
even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Oh my god. Orang monster pencuri.
This time,
Parah
we
banget.
need to tell the entire story from Lilianne's perspective.
Oke. Aduh. Oh, kita bantah apa? Apa tersebutnya? Aku klik aja. Aku malas mikir.
The strange sound.
Ya, ini udah benar. Kalau tinggal pingsan ini salah, teman-teman. Harusnya Hasley.
Lilianne was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect.
Ini panggung. Nggak, bukan. Udah nggak sih? Udah nggak sih? Yang ini. Oh,
The flower vase.
dah.
And it's Ace! Having been selected out of the blue, her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard.
Oh alah, dia ngumpet di dalam situ loh, di kotak itu loh. Jadi ya, monster negara kebebasan juga ya.
Cowell leapt into the tunnel,
Dia terlalu
only to
bebas.
discover that Lilianne had not dissolved. He did not know that Lilianne was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lilianne back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lilianne came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Oh my god. Yeay, menang. Menang debat.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story. Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements?
No, Farina. No, please, no.
Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Huh? Wow. Dude, the Loki look like SR, coy. Kayak ngepulih
As such,
SR.
Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Oh yeah.
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
You.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, therefore you would be wise to tell everything you...
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience We've been in this business for a while.
What the hell? Kok dia kena air? Kok dia jadi air? Kok dia jadi air?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Apalagi ini? Aku nggak tahu sih, kayaknya iya kali lainnya kucing.
So, we're just going back now?
Tapi dia ada ekor gak sih? Aku lupa.
That's...
Traveler, Paimon!
Iya tuh, dia ada
Please
ekor.
wait.
Kayaknya kucing. Iya, kucing.
Winnie...
I
Seperti
know you
Kirara.
may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a I guess. But regardless, I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatous, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
A knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
She's your father? Huh?
That's right. And since
Father,
we're here,
but this is
I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's back when our parents first died. Lynette and I were left wandering the streets.
Oh.
To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either.
Tapi aku tertarik sih.
Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Mami. Oh iya, dari aku juga lupa sih.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. The answer he gave.
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
Di Fontaine.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care. And they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Memang setan.
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy.
Susah banget namanya.
Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a
father
gnosis,
banget sih.
everything is
Walaupun
aimed at
cewek.
dealing with that prophecy.
Aduh. Emang masih bisa ngomong
It's alright, I understand.
Iya.
The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have never stopped making my own decisions. And that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best.
Bye, Linny.
Lucu banget. Tapi kayaknya Hoyover tuh pernah kehabisan ide waktu namain ini orang nih. Dinamainnya Wanderers doang coba. Yang lainnya pada keren-keren namanya. Lainnya gimana tinggalnya apa mana? Nomor saya tinggal. Oh ini.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
What's wrong, my dear partner?
Given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's
Iya,
people to
soalnya
follow now,
karakter
right?
Wanderer, kalau kamu udah selesaiin quest Archonnya,
I see.
kalau kamu punya karakter juga, itu kamu bisa
I'm a little
dikasih
shocked to
nama
hear that from you.
sendiri
But I
sesuai
suppose you are just travelers who have
sesuai
only
yang
arrived
kamu
in
mau.
Fontaine after all. Sorry. I
Jadi
might have
aku
been too
namain Wanderer
presumptuous.
jadi Skarara karena
Say that,
menurut aku
Navia.
lucu. Jadi aku namain Skarara.
Ah, and we were having so
Terus
much fun
cuma
investigating
bisa
with you
dinamain
too.
sekali doang kalau nggak salah, terus nggak bisa diganti lagi namanya.
Was like having new. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Oh my god, diajak makan-makan. Puasa, puasa.
Oh, wonderful.
All right then, let's.
Selesai akhirnya. Akhirnya. Hotel. Karena aku nyelesain dulu sebentar, habis itu aku udahan. Nah, punggungku sudah mulai pegal.
I came here several times with my father when I was little. Stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the.
Oh, don't worry. We have.
In that case.
Oh my god, mari kita lihat makanan Fontaine.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Bisa rasanya.
Of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very true.
Ya aku
In
jarang
that case,
live.
Boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Cuman biasanya kalau lagi bosan aku live kok, atau kalau lagi banyak waktu kosong. Kamu gak sendiri kok, Labzi. Aku juga ngiler.
Mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this is all happening.
Well, we've certainly taken a big
Oh my
step
god,
forward.
dessertnya. Oh my
I
god, aku
feel
pengen
that's about
makaronnya.
it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve
manis
these
banget
young
ini.
women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous
Dito
notion
ka na
that
mandek.
the investigation could never really move forward before.
Tapos mandek.
If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is... To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't
di
have faith
depanku
in their ability. It's just that
buka
a
jam-
different perspective is required in some matters.
Jam 8 lewat
It's easy
6.
to guard against and deceive a single
Jam
narrow
18 masa
perspective.
jam 6.
A shift in thinking is required at such times in order
Ya,
to
6
produce a
lewat 6.
breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists.
Dia masih
Those
ada
highfalutin folk are
1
not
jam.
all-knowing. That's why we
1 jam
exist. To seep into
20
the
menit.
cracks where filth falls through. Where it's all right. Well, this was
Emang kamu
supposed to
jam
be a
berapa
farewell
daftarnya?
meal, so I doubt you have. Let's
Udah buka
talk
kah?
about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of...
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what do you
Loh.
have in mind?
Jam 9.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance
Kamu dari
troupe at the
daerah
Opera
mana
House,
sih?
only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending,
Jam
and would
segitu.
agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Wita kah?
Could you
Atau
suggest
bukan
something
dari
a
Indo?
little more practical?
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night, and I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm
kah?
sleepy,
Atau
I'll do
WIT
anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Ah, malai.
That might work, but that's not really the
Aku
problem.
kira kamu
The
orang
problem
Indo.
is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ya ampun.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
Pantesan kok beda 1 jam.
All
Oke
right,
deh,
all
oke deh.
right. No more joking around. Perhaps you could. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations.
Aku suka itu kok, aku suka
False
Boboiboy. Aku suka
accusations she had
Boboiboy
merely
banget.
upheld personally.
Aku big fan of
I
Boboiboy.
imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break,
Tapi
she
aku
might be
belum
too
pernah
embarrassed
ke
to
Malaysia.
refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Fonta.
Is this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
in Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Hah? Salty? Minuman asin?
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks.
Untuk ketikan sebenarnya itu udah bener-bener pro sih. Aku kira kamu orang Indo loh, beneran dari awal. Karena kamu langsung menyambar orang mana kak?
Paimon can barely float anymore.
Kamu demen bobo-bobonya atau Fangnya nih? Banyak orang suka bobo-boy tapi ternyata dia sukanya Fang tahu.
Nah, that would be so normal. You know,
Sana
like
normal
you.
banget.
Okay. As for expenses this month...
Hey, Navia! What
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
Bye Navia.
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority.
Oh my god.
In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Ya aku suka Fang, tapi aku juga suka bobo-boy. Apa? Yang campuran api sama es itu. Oke, so aku udah berapa jam sih live-nya? 1:03, udah hampir 40 menit, 1 jam 40 menit live. Kok kamu betah banget nonton ini? Makasih lo udah nonton. Soalnya biasanya aku cuma live gak nyampe 1 jam, terus juga jarang yang ada yang nonton. Makasih ya udah nonton. Aku salting. Terus jangan nonton orang Malay lagi. Makasih ya, semangat kalau kamu puasa. Iftarmu masih lama. Mana nih matiin live-nya? Lah. Oke. Dadah. Makasih banyak. Thank you so much. Jangan sampai bukber. Aku tidak suka bukber. Jujur Li, aku sudah reject apa namanya? Undangan bukber school. Jadi aku nggak akan ikut bukber lagi. Dadah, makasih ya.